Chris, what did you make of it?
Certainly a competitive game against what is a very good team, very good offensive team, and I think we had to be very disciplined in what we did. Certainly, I think watching the game, and anybody watching the game, I don't think they could think about a lack of enthusiasm or work rate. I thought we worked very, very hard. Probably the pluses are it's a clean sheet against a very good side. The work rate was good, some good combinations, a couple of players, of course, in Joe playing his first game and Cafu. So I thought there were some real pluses. The negatives, of course, is that I still thought overall I think it was a good enough performance to get more from. And of course we're still at the other end, I still think we've got to be making more chances and more opportunities, and probably that would be the only negative.
You had some good spells in the game tonight, didn't you, all the way through the 90 minutes?
Well, I thought we had some good spells. I also thought we got the ball, I think as we have done in some good areas, got to the byline, some real good sort of crossing positions as well, and I think when you get to them positions, you're hoping that you're going to create something from it. And so that's the pleasing thing that I say we got into them areas, and I say we did look threatening, but we just hope that the harder we work, that will come.
And you mentioned the clean sheet, important to get through tonight, wasn't it? And especially as time ticked away, the last thing you needed was to concede late. Important to stay firm throughout.
Important to stay firm, and sometimes in these type of games, the team that have got perhaps more offensive options than perhaps what we had on the night, the team that it breaks for. And these are a very good side, and you can see why they've got goals. You can see why they are in the table where they are. So yes, it was important to stay firm, as I said, particularly because there were some new combinations and players that haven't played so much. But it was a real good shift from everybody.
I know you mentioned them, but a word about Joe Worrall first of all. Been out for ages, comes back in and gets through 90 minutes with the armband on as well.
Well, I think it's with Joe. Probably I'm talking about him. Sort of knowing him for 2 months. Everybody here, of course, have known him for years, and I think that's what you've seen. He's a player, he's a very fit lad. And there probably aren't so many that can be out for the period of time that he has, and it's not as if he's played a friendly game or so, but I think all of them characteristics I think allow him to come in, and play the way that he played. But I said I'm probably saying something that everybody here already knows.
What we didn't know about either was Cafu as well. A first start for the club for him. What did you make of what he brought you today in midfield? Really
pleased, and one thing I did say to the lads afterwards, it's testament to to somebody who trains well every day. He would have wanted to have been involved more. It's only this sub appearance that he had, I think, at Middlesbrough, so he would have liked to have been involved more. A bit frustrated that he hasn't been, but trains well every day. So the fear was, could he play 90 minutes? And when you see him running the way he did in them final periods of the game, it's sort of testament to him. But that's another, I think, real good bonus for us.
We should ask you about the two players who they kind of replaced with no Jack Colback tonight. We saw him on crutches at the ground, and no Scott McKenna either. So what's the situation with those?
Scott's not so much a problem. Jack's is sore and will determine probably, over the next couple of days how long he will be out for. But I think certainly that's likely to be weeks. And as regards Scott was mine. It was touch and go. He just felt his ankle in the last game. We felt that he might be okay for this game, and then it was that question of really do we risk him, particularly when we've got other options in there, and so yes, we're hoping that he'll be available for the weekend.
Just finally from me for now, Chris, did you think you might end the game against 10 men tonight?
I don't think you ever want to push to get players sent off, but it should have been. It was a bad enough challenge, and I think if it's a lesser challenge than that, and the referee's playing an advantage, then perhaps you can see it. But I think when it's a poor challenge, and particularly when he's already on a yellow card. I can't for the life of me understand why it wasn't a second yellow. And I still at this moment can't understand it. So certainly for me, yes, should have been playing against 10 men.